And that's where the people intelligence capability comes in. That's where technologies which harmonize from different systems. And again, in the old world, that would be a data warehouse, and then we'd have some smart people who'd pull people from the data warehouse, and then they would work on it, and then they would post it into some kind of visualization tool like a Tableau or a Power BI. And in each instance, they would be like the warehouse worker in an Amazon building, where they go, they find what's required, they assemble it into the package, and then they send it out to the person that's going to consume the package. If you think about that as an operating model, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of people going places to assemble things and then distribute that out. It actually starts to break very, very quickly in terms of getting enough information to enough people fast enough. And that's created this space where people intelligence platforms are fitting in. And what they do is they complement the warehouse, but they also step above the warehouse, in that they do the assembly, the organizing, the creation of a space to answer questions all at the same time. So when a request comes in, like, can you tell me if women who moved into leadership positions are staying with us? That's not a request to somebody to go in the warehouse, dig out all the data, bring it out, clean it, organize it, and tell you the answer in a couple of months. That's something that the system can answer automatically because of how it's built. And so this represents that state of the possible, state of the art, in terms of single technology platforms which bring in data from all of these different places. They run cleansing, they run organizing, they can often augment the data as well using AI, adding things like skills, adding things like standardization to the jobs, so that you as a business person, you as somebody responsible for providing this people intelligence to your business, are instantly in a place to start answering questions. And again, we've established just how often and how many of those questions are. So I suspect your business is like ours, which is like, will I have enough headcount? What's my bench strength? If I close down this group or open up this group, what does that mean in terms of who I should keep and who I should move? I mean, the questions just keep coming. And they come at a pace where, again, the traditional model of go to the warehouse, pull out the data, assemble it, clean it, distribute it, it's too slow. It doesn't keep up with the needs of the organization. So we need a technology layer that automates that preparation, just makes it available. So now we understand what we are looking at. I'm going to take a quick pivot. I'm going to actually jump into our application, and I'm going to show you the art of the possible, because it's a lot easier to see than to talk about. And so here I am. This is a people intelligence platform. You've come into a live version. It's dummy data, so don't get too worried about exactly the data, but it's a live version of what's possible. Now, this is my executive dashboard. Each of these components I can click into, I can see detail. Again, I've got some kind of information about what I'm looking at should I choose to, but that's not where the real power is. Lots of people don't want to dig around. As I said, we kind of established that the warehouse is a slow, difficult way to actually answer questions. No executive wants to go and pour through that anymore. So modern tech is designed with search. I'm picking up who is leaving. Who doesn't want to know who is leaving? That's a question. Even though we're in difficult times, it's not necessarily that you worry about everybody leaving, but you're certainly going to worry about some of your highest performers. So using AI, the technologies are able to build a risk of exit score. Again, with I'm a full view of ethical use of AI, so full transparency. It's a random forest algorithm. It's trained on prior history. It's tuned to understand which of what's best about the history. It returns that back as a prioritized list so you can understand things. But as we said, I'm not necessarily interested in everybody. I am interested in high performers. So I'm going to instantly fill in my list of high performers. And here I got Juan. I'm instantly served with some of the elements that are important about Juan. That's like that. These are the things that have put him on the top of the list. They aren't always his reasons for leaving. If you want reasons for leaving, you kind of need to look at people who've left. If you want reasons for staying, again, you have to do different things. But this gives me a sense of who is Juan and what is key about Juan. But I'm going to have a whole bunch of other questions as well. So typically when you start to look at trying to keep somebody, you want to understand what's their journey been with the business. So I don't have to go and ask another question. I don't have to say, hey, what do we need to know about Juan? go back to the warehouse, pull out 5 years worth of data and try and organize that into history, I'm instantly served with a means of scrolling across things that have changed for Juan as he's done that. I also then figure, yeah, I want to keep Juan. He's an important part of my team. So what kind of conversation can I have with him? Well, now I'm going to go and look at his career path. He's an information security manager. We all know those are super important roles right now. And built on all of the data that lives inside this people intelligence capability, again, we can construct future pathways that other people have followed. So this isn't made and then printed into the application. It's actually detected live from all of the information that's built out over time. How many people did what? So if I want to have a conversation with Juan about his career, I can start to talk to him and say, there's a bunch of people who have gone to the IT project office. It isn't a common path. Only 4 people have done that, but it usually takes them about 10 months from where you are. If you want to go into software reliability, fewer people, longer time. The most common place people have gone is into IT infrastructure. So, help me understand which one of these 3 paths is attractive. If it's not attractive, then, we can change the conversation. In addition, once I've got there, simple double click on my infrastructure manager. Here are the steps you can take afterwards. And again, I'm not having to do any kind of, go back to somebody and ask for a rerun on a SQL query or ask for a rerun on any kind of component. It's available to me here. Other simple things to call out. Once I found an insight, I can capture it. I've then got a whole distribution methodology. The facility with which we can find, answer questions, share that information with an HR business partner, share that information with the person they're serving. All of these things are very, very powerful and very important in terms of putting the data and putting the people intelligence to use.